Since the accident that happened between San and Jojo on the island, San's behavior towards Jojo has completely changed for unknown reasons, to the point where there's no longer any connection between them. Each of them has seen their life and collected their thoughts. Despite this, Jojo tried to communicate a lot with San, but he always used to ignore her, which made her surrender to the idea that he no longer loved her, for unknown reasons. We also find out that during this period, he was involved with a girl with yellow hair named Yuka. However, every time she opens her Love Alarm app in the presence of San, she doesn't receive any notifications indicating that he loves her. Yuka knows that he doesn't love her, but at the same time, she loves him deeply and tries everything to make him like her. The next day, Jojo goes to the university library to study. She is surprised to find Yunjung sitting at the table in front of her. She becomes very nervous and tries to avoid him. After she finishes studying and leaves, she finds him waiting for her outside the library. Strangely, he tells her that he missed her a lot and is happy to see her. Then he leaves before she can respond. San finds out later that he saw Jojo that day and tries to get closer to her. He asks Yunjung why he chose Jojo after everything she did, after she abandoned him without reason. Yunjung responds, "That's for you, but I still have feelings for her, and I will try to get closer to her until the end." Here we go back 4 years. We see Gollum threatening Jojo that if she doesn't leave, she will tell everyone that her parents died by their own hands and that Jojo was with them when they took many antidepressants and closed all the windows, starting fires in every corner of the house. But Jojo managed to escape and get out of the house. Here we discover the surprise that the inventor of the Love Alarm app is DOK, their unknown classmate. In his quest to confess his feelings to Gollum when he met her, she rejected him in a very humiliating way. When he found himself failing at everything, he decided to leave everything behind and end his life, and no one has heard from him since. One day, Jojo receives a message that Gollum withdrew 10 million won from her, which were Jojo's university funds that she had saved up. Jojo searches for her everywhere in the streets and banks, but she can't find her. Later, she goes to her aunt's grocery store and tells her that her daughter stole 10 million won from her. However, her aunt says that it's their problem and they should solve it together. When Gollum returns home, Jojo confronts her, saying she could have borrowed the money instead of stealing it. But Gollum boldly tells her that the money is for her, as she's been wanting to join a singing group for 4 years but couldn't afford it. She blames Jojo for their low living standards and throws Jojo's books and belongings out the window. Jojo goes downstairs to pick up her things, struggling with herself. There she finds Yunjung passing by on his bike. He helps her gather her belongings and suggests they take a walk and talk by the Han River. While chatting, he tells her that he's sure she doesn't reciprocate his feelings, but he tries to keep her happy all the time. He wants to be by her side without expecting her to love him back. Jojo thanks him for understanding her feelings and invites him for coffee as a token of her gratitude. Yunjae starts planning to settle in Busan. He asks his mom to help him find a separate apartment near his workplace there. Then he meets Jojo and tells her that he's about to travel. He asks her to download the Love Alarm app and open it together. The surprise comes when they both open the app and receive notifications that someone loves them. So Yunjae shouts with joy, unable to believe that Jojo really likes him. They decide to have dinner together. There he asks her some questions about herself to get to know each other better. When Jojo returns home, she finds him waiting for her. He starts reproaching her, questioning how she could have suddenly left him and stopped loving him. He wonders why Love Alarm no longer rings in her presence. However, we know that the reason is Jojo's shield feature, which prevents the app from signaling whom she likes to keep her feelings private. But if she disables this feature, Love Alarm will work normally, and it will show that she loves him. Then comes the day when Love Alarm is being upgraded, and the identity of its creator is revealed. On the opening day, the creator, whose face is not visible, talks about the new features of the app. He announces that the new feature will reveal who loves whom by name and even predicts who you will fall in love with in the future. One day, Jojo is studying at the university library, and her friend comes running, telling her to hurry up because they're late for the lecture. They rush until they arrive on time. Her friend opens the Love Alarm app after the new upgrade, and she finds hundreds of people around her whom the app predicts she will love in the future. Her friend advises JoJo to open the app and see who it predicts she will love too. After finishing her lecture, JoJo finds him waiting for her outside after he finishes his work, and she's very happy. They go to the university cafeteria to eat and talk. She asks him what the secret of his extreme happiness today is. He shows her a picture on the app of the girl who is predicted to love him in the future, and it turns out to be her. He tells her he'll wait for her. At the end of the day, she finishes her work at her aunt's shop and tells her about her last customer, the young man from high school. As soon as he enters the store, love alarm rings. She understands that he likes her. When she leaves, she encounters the same guy, who confesses his feelings for her and tries to ask her out. She runs away and hides from him. Suddenly, Yoonjae appears in front of her, which reassures her a lot. He gives her a gift, and they go for coffee together. He's worried about her going back home, especially with a guy chasing her, so he offers her to stay at his place, and she agrees. They go back to his house, where Yoonjae fixes the curtain, and JoJo hugs him from behind, wishing him a good night. He's extremely happy and amazed by what's happening. Unfortunately, her love alarm still hasn't rung for him. We learn that the reason is because she has a shield that was sent to her 4 years ago by the app developer, which allows her to hide her feelings from anyone she doesn't want to know. And of course, this shield can't be removed. Here she questions herself. I wonder if she hadn't had that shield. Would her love alarm for Yoonjae have rung by now? The next day, JoJo tells her friend that she suspects the person who appeared and claimed to be the CEO and the idea behind the love alarm app on TV isn't the real developer, especially since she still remembers what their colleague, Dioke, hinted at. He implied that he was the developer of the app, and the person who appeared on television didn't resemble Dioke at all. She decides to go to the school herself, get Doc's address and phone number, and contact him to confirm it herself. Unfortunately, when she goes to the school, she's shocked to learn from the principal that Doc passed away, and people say he took his own life. She breaks down and tells her friend that she feels devastated because Dok was a very good person, and also because she will remain trapped in the shield she has forever, which he was the only one who could cancel. She wants to know who the person who appeared instead of Dok and claimed to be the idea behind the app really is. After that, JoJo starts posting on her Resonance World page, which is a satire cartoon page on Instagram. She draws the cartoons herself using artificial intelligence. It has become the most popular page in Korea because she always talks about the latest trends in Korea. We find that Dok wrote her an encouraging comment from his page indicating that he's not dead or anything. It's clear that there's a big secret behind him that we still don't know. The next day, JoJo receives a message from Brian, the imposter who claimed to be the idea behind the love alarm project. He asks her to meet him at his company tomorrow because he wants to talk to her, and she does go to meet him. There, she tells him that the real developer from 4 years ago gave her something that no one else has. Immediately, Brian assumes she's referring to the shield. JoJo confirms that it must be Dok. However, Brian denies it, saying that unfortunately, the shield can never be deactivated. He convinces her that the shield is a source of strength for her because it prevents her feelings from being exposed to others, while allowing her to easily identify who loves her. Meanwhile, San is standing nearby, listening to their conversation. He suddenly grabs her hand firmly and asks about the story behind the shield. JoJo is forced to tell him everything. This infuriates him because he realizes that all this time she loved him, but her feelings were hidden. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and check out our other selection of recaps. Take care.